Hey, it's Jessica Lee. I am the secret psychic, intuitive Jessica Lee. That bitch. The crazy lady. I got names. Sophia. Sophia. I could go on, but I'm here with you now, whatever my name is. And I have had quite an interesting Jupiter Kazemi. like, I've been posting about it already, and I feel like if you really care, if you want to know, go check out one of my zillion posts on Facebook. Uh, yeah, it's been flooded there, flooded, just flooded. I'm like, whoa, whoa. So I'm very grateful. It's like, and we grateful? Yes, we're grateful. Um, it's been quite a journey so far. I returned back to the psychic community in February 2025 this year. I've been saying since 2020, 25 to life ain't no joke, which we all heard that before here in America. It's a popular lyric. But God speaks to me in very cool and unique ways, including music and lyrics. I am a claircognate. I've got all the clairs. I've got all the gifts of the Holy Ghost. I think I do. I think I have pretty much all of them. I can speak in tongues, laying of hands. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to give you a little resume here. I'm new here on YouTube. I do have probably, I want to say, scattered videos throughout the last 3 years. I want to say since 2022. I tried to get back to the psychic community in 2022. Again, I have a long story. It's going to take me probably a decade to tell it all. And I'm sure there's going to be even more stories to tell from there, assuming I'm living still. We only got so many days here to do whatever we got to do. All right, so I have a lot to share. I have a lot to get off my chest. Oh Lord, I don't have a lot of battery life. That's not like I feel like we have what does it say? 2.22. Oh, okay, never mind. It says I I'm on battery saver mode. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot on my mind. There's a lot that I've been through. I am a daughter of a Jehovah's Witness, a daughter of a high priest, Wiccan warlock, whatever. Both are passed away. As I mentioned, I'm in the psychic community. I started doing that in 2007 professionally, but I was born with the gift all along. Yes, I was. I started riding my bike. I was knowing things before then, even. So I'm back in the psychic community. Before I got back into it, I was a manager at Taco Bell, the graveyard shift, and it was putting me in the grave. My hair, I had like a mohawk growing in or falling out. I had like a patch that, that wide on both sides. My hair was falling out. My hair used to be down here about a year ago. Promise you, it was long. It was long. I looked a lot cuter. But I had to chop it off because it was coming out so bad. So yeah, let's fast forward. That's not a chapter I want to read again. So yeah, in February I couldn't take it anymore. I had about a year's worth of observations and documents against my boss, and just something told me you're ready to get back. It's time to go get back everything that you had lost on account of chasing after God. I was chasing after God. My family will tell you I was on drugs. I apparently when I did get reunited, when I got back with when my mom was dying and I was finally allowed to be reunited with the family, my brother treated me like I was gonna rob the whole, like it was the craziest thing. And I was homeless 7 years, and I didn't like, even the gangsters knew I would not steal. Like people would see me like, oh, Jess, she's a good girl. Even the cops knew I like. One time I did lose my mind for a little minute. Actually, I can't say I lost my mind. I was a spirit took over my body, and the spirit, I don't remember what happened. There was a police report though. I don't remember what happened, but according to the police report, 1 minute I was waiting to take my shower at the homeless community center, and next thing they knew, I was yelling at people about like being perverts and saying they were all gonna go to hell. Basically calling them out on like sexual abuse and the sex trafficking shit like that. I was going wild out, throwing books at people even, and in the report I took a hose outside and I was trying to like what do they do that? Lasso them up? I don't know. I don't remember, y'all. I just remember waking up in one of the office rooms with Dr. Bob, and there's two officers, and they're all looking at me, concerned. Nobody looked mad. They looked worried. And Dr. Bob asked if I was okay, and I was like, yeah. And he just suggested that the police take me to the hospital and make sure I'm okay. And I was like, okay, Dr. Bob. Like, Jess is a good girl. I'm like, if that's what Dr. Bob says, well, fuck, let's go. I mean, shit, I don't want to keep sleeping on the street. You want to take me to the hospital? I want to have some free meals, too? Thanks, Dr. Bob. Hook it up. Like, hook it up. I was down. But after a few days of being there, so kind of like, why am I here exactly? Like, it was a very nice hospital. Very nice. And another really weird thing, and I didn't notice this till my third or fourth visit there. Yeah, I ended up like checking like when I couldn't take it anymore out. Once I found this hospital, man, and they still never sent me a bill. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. But yeah, so it was the third or fourth time I went there for my little rest and recovery. And I noticed the tiles on the floor are the same freaking design that I did in high school, all the way up in Michigan. I'm in Texas now. But I think I was like 16 or 17 at East Detroit High School, and we were doing these metal tiles in art class. And I had this, the design I made. I was like, I've always been into symmetry, long before it was a CERN video. But yeah, so the tile, I'm going to try and draw it. I mean, it's not hard to draw. It's basically like, okay. So no, it was, okay, that's what was weird about it. It was something like this. I can't remember now, but this is, yeah, it was like that. It's basically like a card. I mean, it's not that mind-blowing of a design, right? Like this. You got two dots. It's kind of like you want to think like yin yang with the dots and the symmetry. Anyway, but they have the same design. That I just happened to, and it was on the wall. The art piece that I made. The teacher, she was French. I forget her name now, but like she really loved that piece, and she put it on the wall, and it was a little big deal for the week. But yeah, I was like, what are the odds of that? Like, I mean, I think it's a simple design, but it is symmetrical, and the way I did it on the tile, like, yeah, because it's like a box, and then you got the diamond on the inside, so it's like the edges don't quite match up, because you kind of got a box within a box. But yeah, anyway, so I digress. Also, I have some autism and ADD and a little PTSD, and I am controlled by the spirit world. I am not 100%. I keep trying to give my will over to God, though, every day. I'm like, yo, just take it. Take it, God. Take my meat suit. Show me how to do it. Walk with me, please. I beg you. And I beg God to keep walking with me. You know why? Because He already has. He has. And I love it. It's, who needs drugs if you have God in your heart and your soul and moving through you? Oh, wow. Don't get better than that. So, Spirit wants me to go ahead and bring up this topic that I was thinking about when I was like, okay, I can finally make my video. Because I've been wanting to make a video all day. And I've been waiting for my kid to go to bed. But as soon as he did, and people started calling, which that's awesome. And so, yeah. So the last call I got, we're just going to write this topic down because I think we're going to have to blog about it too. Bleeding out energy. I do it too. So understand when I get a tone and it probably sounds bitchy. Just know I'm working on it. I'm a Virgo. I'll just hide. I'm a Virgo. I do bitchy things. But okay. We all bleed. We all bleed out. We bleed our feelings. Literally and metaphysically. We all have energy fields around us. Some people can call it an aura. Some people call it part of the grid within a grid. That's what I just called it. But we all have this. Our heart's a vortex. We're made of energy. I could go on and on. But, I don't want to rob you of the joy of learning and an education. So please learn about chakras, energy systems within the human body. Did I say chakras already? Psychic self-defense, quantum fields, vortexes on the humans. Like, look into this shit. Like, have you ever did this with your hand? And the closer you don't touch your palms together, but just gently bring your hands in. And as you get them closer together, you can feel the energy. Literally, there's no way, you cannot deny it. You feel it, and the more you do it, it's building up a static electricity almost. So the more you do it, and here's the secret. The more you think about and visualize this energy that you feel, you can feel it, like you can feel the breath on your hand when you blow. So we all have this energy about us. We don't see it. We don't see the Wi-Fi either. We don't see our breath unless the temperature's just right. But it's there. Okay, so with this in mind, I had a woman come to me, and it's not her first time. And honestly, and I admit this freely just because I don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt, but I don't remember everybody's situation that I read for or talk to, unless you are somebody that I talk to on I want to say a daily basis or a weekly basis, and that has to be consistently. I'm really not going to remember all the details. My brain works, I have like 200 tabs open of my own, and then I have the spirit guide, the Holy Spirit and all of the other angels and whatnot whispering in my ear. And then I have children and a brother who can't hear, so I have a lot going on. So I mean this with the most love, and I'm trying to have more patience for other people. I do. I try to really look out for people as much as I can and to be there for them when they're hurting. But this is a lesson I have had a hard time learning. So when I tell somebody, when I tell people on my profile, this work takes a lot of energy, a lot of focus, and patience. And if you don't have that or respect, keep it moving. So this lady comes in my chat and she starts kind of like twist. This is my side of things, I'm sure she may have a different opinion, probably. But she mentioned that she's been really emotional and all day, and I'm encouraging her, there's a big thing going on with the moon right now. And it is emotional, and I've cried probably about 10 times, 10 little like flash floods. Really, I've had about 10 flash floods today. Yesterday I had about 4 good long rains, 4 good long rains, and a couple little sprinkles, and it's been going on for me for almost a week. My moon's in Sagittarius. That's ruled by Jupiter. That's yeah. And then the Jupiter is doing the Cazimi right now. And then the Cancer thing, and I'm a rising Libra. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything because I'm still learning astrology, but I got a lot going on. And I understand other people probably do too. I understand. I've had quite a few people come to me for readings in the last few days. Quite a few, and they're like, my so-and-so just broke up with me out of nowhere. Like, so something's in the air. I feel you, ma'am, whoever you were that called me. I'm just gonna act like I don't know your name, but I feel you, and you come back with, well, I'm not an idiot. Well, who said anything? Like, why are you throwing these negative terms at me like that? You're bleeding. You're bleeding. And I understand, I understand people are hurting. She tells me, oh, I wasn't, she's trying to like, oh, I wasn't saying that. Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, you were trying to imply that I called you stupid. Yes, I understand your feelings. You're having a bad day and you don't know why, but you're not stupid. Okay, well, nobody said you were except for you. Let's get that straight. And you're projecting. When you're doing these things, you're not just bleeding out your unresolved trauma on the people around you that were volunteering to help you. They were trying to help you, but instead you just bit them like a snake. And you tried to blame them for it. So, yeah, so now I had to block another one. I've probably blocked 25 people in the last 2 weeks. Because I don't play with that negativity stuff anymore. I have had to do so much work for myself. Being a Virgo is a caregiver, I do have this tendency, and God was telling me earlier, it's just who I am. Us Virgos, we're caregivers. That's who we are. That's part of God's purpose for us, is to help the others, to guide the others, to heal the others. That's what we're meant to do. But we're also not supposed to sacrifice ourselves to unworthy causes. That's something God really has made clear to me. He wants me to be self-sacrificing and help people. And another thing, and he's going to let me tell you, because I was like, I'm learning to be more slow to speak so I can get permission of what I'm allowed to say, because there's a lot I cannot say at all times. So he uses me to test people, I've come to find out. He's not going to let me give an example at this time, but yeah. I'm sure many of us have heard the phrase, be careful, you might be entertaining angels, be careful of how to treat people. You never know who they are. And what's funny about that is because, I really like that show, Undercover Boss. I just love it. Like, bully ass, guess what, asshole? You're fucking talking dumb to the wrong one. So, and I'm the wrong one right now. They're like, I'm a dumb talking like that. I gotta stop it. I got sent to the hood. I did not talk like hood I didn't talk like that before, but there's a recipe about becoming a warrior, and I guess going through the mud is part of it. That's part of my story. I had to get a lot tougher. A lot. I'll talk about walking in the world with rose-colored glasses. That was me. So Spirit's like, let's get back on the point, though, storyteller. So we're going to get back on point. We're talking about bleeding our emotions out. And we're really going to have to, really bring that back in. We really got to gather our pieces, get our shit together right now. Because we have a lot of work coming up ahead. A lot. A whole lot. For some of us, this is going to be more personal and introspective work. You're going to have to face your demons. You're going to have to admit to your faults. And the bright side is you're going to have to learn to love yourself more and see yourself in a better light. So that's quite a journey. I'm working on that. I think about 3/4 of the way through on mine. And it's talk about, there's revelations, there's levels to revelations, ladies and gentlemen, and you will find out. Spirit told me a long time ago, there's so many reasons why I went through what I did, and part of it is because I was one of the first. I wasn't the only one. There are lots of other people that kind of got awoken, not in the same ways I did. They haven't had the exact same experiences, but I've met other people with some similar stories. Very scarily similar. People that when we get together and we talk about what we know, others stop and they stare and they ask us what language we're speaking. And we're just talking fast. So I have to slow down my speech a great deal, because I guess deep down I'm a high vibrating person, and I'm like a little fairy just going so fast. So I have to slow myself down so people can understand me, because my messages and God's messages, God's messages The Spirit's messages are getting lost because I have not been taking my time. And this also brings us to the bleeding. You know, a lot of us are bleeding. Why are we bleeding out emotionally? We're unfulfilled. We're lost. The Spirit's just like, y'all are lost. We are so lost right now as a community of a species. We are so out of tune with the laws of nature. I mean, we call it humanity. Humane to murder puppies. Sit with that for a minute. That's what we call humane. And what's the root word of humane but human? How horrible it is to be a human under these terms and definitions. And this is why I'm just repeating what I'm hearing, okay? This is why it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. How? Why? And the word is, okay, how and why? What are those? Those are terms that help us define what something's about. What is it about? And I'm just gonna jump to what I feel like Spirit's trying to lead us to here, because I don't know how much battery I have or energy, but it's about our motivation too. So as we're getting to know ourselves better, as we're beginning to face our demons more, doing our shadow work, embracing ourselves in all of our glory, all of our losses, and Spirit's saying, in order to, we're not just doing this for our own sake, it's so that we can draw closer to God. You cannot get closer to God if you are still hiding in your own little Garden of Eden, your own garden of comforts and security, in your own belief that you have things under control, that you've done any of this. You haven't done anything, baby. I haven't done anything either. And this is a hard concept for a human to really wrap around and accept. Because how could I say I didn't pick up this pen? How could I say I didn't drop it? Clearly I did, right? And I did. But I am. And what do I mean by that nonsense, right? What I mean is, it's His breath that fills my lungs. It is His design and creation that holds my soul and spirit. And He's the maker of my soul and spirit. So if we take Him out of the equation, was I ever? No, I wasn't. Now, of course, that's a matter of pure belief and faith, but that's what side I'm on right now. 10 years ago, I was batting on a different side, and it took a lot to convince me otherwise. And I suspect that may be part of a reason, if there is any reason to be named, why God tapped me. Why He picked me, because I do the research, and I look, and I'm not saying Christianity is the way. When Jesus was alive, was there Christianity? No. Did He say in order to go to heaven you have to follow Christianity? No. So did He say we need to go search for the truth, like it's a treasure or something like that? Yeah. Did He say you have to read the King James version of the text and the testimonies? No. But for some reason, we're all just going on autopilot with this unspoken belief, and it's simply not true. So we are lost. We call ourselves murderers. Hello, humane. We humanely killed him. So we made him think everything's gonna be okay. Just like some colonists. Here, have a blanket. Here, have a vaccine. We are lost, okay? And Spirit told me we're going to stop right there, and if you come back for more, maybe they'll remind me where I was at here. Because that's how I'm getting by. I forget everything. God love you. Have a good night.